Hello, and welcome to Paint a Beautiful Picture. My name is Violet Newby. I would like to share just a little bit about myself. I am a mom, a grandmother. I'm a registered nurse who has taken care of women and children for over 35 years. I have been a teacher for a very long time. I have taught everyone from preschoolers to preteens and teenagers to adults at the university level. I am the author and the developer of a series of character building ideas for parenting. And what I would love to share with you is how you can be a more effective parent with healthier and happier children. So please come and join me on this journey in painting a beautiful picture in your child's life. I'm so glad you've been joining me on this journey for the last couple of weeks. Today is the last day. You just have to listen and you don't get to do anything. Starting next week, we'll begin taking action steps. Woohoo! For those of you who are really hard driven, motivated people, you'll be excited to get to do something. Today, we're going to talk about balancing life. You know, yesterday when I said, I didn't expect this, and we have all dealt with that, life has a lot of unexpected things. It does. Boy, it can throw us some major curves. It can have unexpected joys, but it can have unexpected frustrations, and it can certainly have sorrow. So I want to acknowledge that to you, okay? As a parent, you want to balance out this life. I grant you in the first 3 years of life, very likely of your child's life, you aren't going to have much of life of your own. So if you have 3 kids within a space of 5 or 6 years, do you understand me? You're going to have like 8 years where you don't really have a life. That's a long time. Talk about being a little out of whack. That's why you have to remember that you chose it. So on the days when you don't feel like you have a life, you remember, no, this is in fact the life that I chose. Especially if I chose to give up my career and I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. Yes, I chose this life. And I'm choosing each day to invest in my child. Dads, because I know there are some of you, my son was one of you. If you're the stay-at-home dad, please remember to tell yourself, I chose this. I chose to let my wife pursue her career, and though there are days I'm really challenged and fighting and struggling and have so many issues as a man, I chose this life. This is the life I chose. It's not going to be my life forever, but today, this is the life I have, and I chose this life. Okay? Now, what in the world can you expect out of me? Since we're talking about the things you didn't expect, what can you expect? Okay, you can expect me to cover normal growth and development at lots of stages of life. If you have a teenager, and I'm starting off with little kids, or I spend a good bit of time talking about little kids in the first, we'll say 6 months of this at least 3 year program, and you're getting frustrated because you're like, could we please talk about my kid? I will do my very best to cover various areas of life and what is normal growth and development. We'll talk about fostering children, adopting children, what it's like to get a kid that you didn't have, step parenting a child. You know, the first 5, 8, 10 years of your life, they of their life, pardon me, you weren't there. You didn't have any control over the foundation that was laid or some of the junk that went on. You're just trying to clean up the mess and help the child to grow up healthy. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the daily challenges of being a parent, and there are tons of them. And again, we'll deal with those at various stages of a child's life. And we'll talk about special challenges. So let me show you something. You know, I have on a good bit of bling today. And as a nurse, when I used to deal with people post-operatively, one time I had on 2 different earrings in each one of my ears on the second hole. And my boss said to me, Violet, you can't be doing that stuff. I said, what are you talking about? And she said, if a patient comes out of surgery and they're coming out of anesthesia, they see 2 different earrings, they're going to freak out. They're going to think they're hallucinating or something is wrong with their mind. Now, it just so happens that I really love earrings that are asymmetrical. So you notice, if I can get them turned around for you, this pair, the shiny part is on the top on one side and on the bottom on the other. That's the way they're made. I love these earrings, okay? They're probably the very kind my boss talked about that would drive somebody a little bit crazy. All right, so some of us like things to be a little off kilter, a little asymmetric. Some people like everything to be perfectly symmetrical and organized. Okay, I want to explain that to you. In our lives, people have a certain amount of tension, again, between that ideal and the real, and with what they can handle. Some people have a lot of space, they're pretty free spirited. They're kind of the flower child of the 70s. Oh, life is all good. And they're pretty mellow, and a lot of stuff can go down around them, and they're okay. Other people, ooh, honey, they are so anal. I mean, rigid, inflexible, cannot bend. Oh, help me. It's got to be like this or nothing. And hilariously, they often end up together. This is a fact. I want you to know this, okay? If you're in a relationship like this and one of you is the major free spirit and one of you is, whoa, don't despair. That's probably a whole lot more common than you could imagine. You are not the only people on the planet like that. And oh my goodness, doesn't God have a sense of humor? Sometimes, like the most narrow, inflexible parent has this really free spirited, colorful, creative child. And they're like ready to lose their mind because they don't even know what to do with this kid. And they're constantly trying to rein him in and squish him down and fit him in the box. And as someone once said to me, Miss Violet, I don't even think you have a box. Forget thinking out of the box. I don't think you got one. Woo! Hallelujah. I was happy for that. I thought that was a good description of me. Do you know what? You can't be all freaked out about things you can't control. Well, okay, let me back up. Oh, yes, you can. You can get just as freaked out as you wanna. Not like it's going to do anybody any good, including you. But why waste your time being freaked out about what you cannot change? Right? What a waste of time and emotional energy. I mean, put it where you can do something. Okay? So the best and first thing that you have control over that you can change? Yourself. Wowee. Your attitudes, your mindset, your actions. That's what you have the most control over of all. And if you need to do that to become more adaptable, to balance out your life so you're not losing your mind, that's what you have to do. Okay? Learn to adapt. You go, whoa, I'm living with this person who's so inflexible and so rigid. I mean, wow, they're driving me crazy. And let me stop you right there. They're not driving you anywhere. You got on the bus. Remember that one? Yeah. No one's making you mad. Oh, no, 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 no. That's a lie. You have a bad temper. You got mad. They didn't make you mad. They don't have that power and control over you. And certainly not your child, not your 1-year-old. Oh, no. She didn't make you mad. You became angry when she, fill in your blank. Just get that straight in your own mind. No one made you angry. No one is driving you crazy. No one is making you frustrated. You're a frustrated person. You're an angry person. You can get a little crazy. Okay, there's a good place to own up to your own stuff. All right, so I'm pretty frustrated. I'm pretty angry. Whatever I am. And when you fill in the blank, it really gets me going. You can say all those things. I want you to know that. But don't be blaming stuff on other people. That's your own responsibility. So you say, whoa, I get angry pretty easily. I need to learn how to get a hold of my temper. That's my responsibility. That way, when I say to my child, I need you to get a hold of yourself, they've seen an example. They actually know what that looks like. So you can say, I am really angry right now. I'm not going to pitch a fit. I'm not going to act like a jerk. I'm not going to say bad words I don't have any business saying in front of you. But I just want you to know I am really super ticked. Okay? Just let's get this straight. You can look at your spouse and say that. You can say, when you fill in the blank, I feel really me crazy. I feel really angry. I feel really frustrated. I feel really disgusted. Whatever. And now you can finally actually begin to have this dance and balance it out. You ever seen somebody like 6'5" try to dance with somebody 4'4"? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of balance in there. It doesn't even look good. They're probably going to be really awkward. You put two people together, the guy's maybe 6'2", the girl's like 5'8"-ish, and they're well paired and they can dance really beautifully. But even when they first start dancing, they trip, they knock each other over, they step on each other's feet. It takes time to learn how to do the dance of life, even with someone really beautiful, even with somebody really handsome, even with someone you really admire and care about. When you're going to start balancing your life, you need to start looking at your steps and theirs and learn how to walk and move together. That's a big deal in being a good parent, is moving in tandem smoothly with the person that you live with. And as much as it depends upon you, work on your own stuff. Okay? Remember that. I didn't expect this. I'm going to deal with it. Deal with your own stuff. Now you can start helping your child. You know how to deal with stuff. You have that sense of confidence and assurance. You can help your child. He feels out of control. She doesn't have much power in the world, but they can rely on you. They can depend on you. They can feel very stable and secure with you and in their home with you because you're handling things. So you have to look at the balance of life. You don't have control over everything. Face it for sure. But you should be gaining control over yourself. And you don't necessarily have full control over the movements in your relationship with your mate, your co-parent, your child, in some of your other relationships, certainly not maybe at work with your boss or some of your coworkers, but the part that you do have, get that part into balance so that you can move freely and feel comfortable, learn the steps, and do it without being awkward. Okay? I hope that that illustration makes really good sense to you. Your challenge of the day is, where am I out of balance? Okay? If I'm out of balance because I'm with a person who doesn't understand me at all, and yet I haven't really honestly communicated my thoughts and feelings to them, I don't feel safe in the world, or they've demonstrated things to me in the past by yelling at me about stuff that I don't feel safe with them. We've got to do something to get to the place where there's enough emotional safety to be truthful with one another. Okay, there's one. Or I'm in a relationship with a person who really isn't very supportive of me and I'm struggling. So if I am going to put my life into balance and I can't get it from this person, I need to get it somewhere else. I'm not saying go have an affair or be unfaithful or act stupid. Don't ever attribute that to me. I'm saying go to your mom, go to a good friend, go to a counselor, go to a pastor, go to a mentor. That's what I'm saying. And express what's going on and get support and find balance. If things are way out of balance with your child, that's where you and I are going to go together. I really hope and pray that you've heard my heart, that you understand that I have a great deal of compassion for those who are experiencing sorrow and frustration and disappointment in their relationships to their children, and that you will continue to persevere with me through this process of learning in order that you will become a more effective parent, a more fulfilled parent, a more confident parent, and that you will continue to do your very best at raising a strong and healthy, responsible, mature child in your home. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button. Thank you so very much for listening to all of these introductory videos, and I will be very excited to start with you next week on action steps at painting a beautiful picture in your child's life.